What's up, YouTube? It's third time from 8-Bit Co-op, and I want to thank you for joining me here today. As I'm just gonna review some of my classes. So the other day, I was playing, and I was running around on my wife's character, and I was running on her character because I was trying to get the Shadeborn or some along. And let me turn this down. This might be a bit loud. I was running around our character trying to do a PvP match.
Amazing!
So, amazing! Hooray! It's me. I'm amazing. Anyways, I went into this PvP match, and I was running our Hellion build. It's the build we call our Hellion build. This is what we were running. Both of us are set up this way. And I went in there, and it was the video got posted because I was heads up enough to just hit the record. I was like, hey, if I do good on this one, then, I'll post it. If not, I won't. And it was not a black garden. It was a black garden. And I went in there, and I dominated. And there was a guy in there, a warrior, a rift stalker or whatever, reaver, whatever. Apparently they're supposed to be like the uber powerful epic class. And I honestly don't think he was that good. But this guy really had it in for me. He was like, oh, you noob, you're gay, blah, blah, blah. I mean, all kinds of just mean, hateful shit. Like, dude was really jelly. He was Smuckers because I was kicking ass and they couldn't kill me. I went top damage by a lot. And I got the second highest healing, no deaths. And, so the next match we went into was a Whitefall Steps. He was in there. So I'm like, okay, you didn't call him, oh, you're an asshole, all the crap he was saying. I singled him out. And pretty much, that video got recorded. You're going to see a video on Gisela, my wife's character, where I basically will pass everybody up, single target this one warrior, and you watch me the whole time just wear this warrior's ass out. He couldn't kill me. And, he got mad. He was like, oh, you noob. And he was saying, oh, this is a new class, and it needs to be nerfed, and blah, 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 blah. Well, I've been beat before by single people. Clerics give me so much problems. And the hunter build, there's a rogue build where you're a hunter, I don't know what it is, but they have an ability where every few seconds they get like a sprint, and I can't close the distance on them. So I can't beat them guys because I can't close the distance. Because they'll hit me, run out of range of my spells, come back in and hit me. Or if I'm in melee, I just get kited to death. Well, anyways, I just wanted to showcase that build. This is the build that I use for that. And the rotation is super easy. I'm not going to go over the rotation because this isn't one of them type of videos. But I found some macros that work that you don't drop. And we did a couple of dungeons with another guild, and they were like, oh my god, your rotation is really, really good. You did, great damage. Want to join us for a raiding guild? But I'm like, well, we really don't have time to do that because we do other games and everything. Anyways, I gotten compliments on my ability to do damage, and I was pretty under geared. Anyway, so all the builds that I run, they have names, and there's a reason behind the name. We have Savage. This build right here. Okay, I will say this. I will agree with this guy. This build, the damage that you do in this build, that I found that I can do in this build, is like winning like $600 million lottery twice. That's how ridiculous the damage is. I even was like, yeah, this needs to be nerfed. Okay, I'm retarded, and I had a bunch of these, right? And I was trying to switch these out. For some reason, my game wasn't letting me switch these. And I wasn't paying attention, because I was like switching these out, and sell, switch out, sell, but it wasn't switching these out. So what it was, I ended up selling all of these. And I had, all of them, they had different resists on them. I ended up selling all of them but one. So, that really irritated me. However, anyways, this build here, I just want to show you really, really quick. Like right now, I have a 30% chance to crit. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and just build it. Now, if you look now, I have a 35% chance to crit. I used this build, the crit that you get on this build is so insanely ridiculous. it's borderline unfair. Look at that. 43% chance to crit. And this build, when I run this one, I rarely go to Fury. I may tap Fury every now and again. I only use this twice just to get back into Harmony, and I found out that anywhere in here up to 30 is Harmony. So as long as this number doesn't go over 30, that'll put you in Harmony. So I normally do that when Savage Twister needs to be reapplied. I'll tap this twice, and I'll throw out the Underworld Shards, and I don't know what it is about this. Just those 2 points in here make this build do so much more damage. It is just ridiculous. This is the highest damaging build I've been able to do on this game so far, and I'm not even in game. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this is the damage that you do on this is. With this build right here, this is ridiculous. This needs to be nerfed. And I haven't even put in the points to get to increase my single target damage. You know, and this is normally this is the one I should use for PvP because it has this. I use this for PvP when I know I have a healer. I'll switch to this because this is a great one for PvP because I have my I have the charge plus I have grasping earth. Plus, I have my Squall, so for classes that like to run, I can close the distance in my charge. And these all work pretty well together to where, I'm rarely ever like, oh, man, I don't have a, way to close the gap now because all my stuff is on cooldown. That does happen, but it's rare. But this build right here is ridiculous. And this is the one that I run when I do PvE, too. I found that because you have a healer when you're running a dungeon, so I can do this. I can pull aggro with this build from every other tank except for a Primalist tank. Now, a Primalist tank. I don't know the name of the warfront, but there's a warfront where there's a portal in the middle, and then you have these hills, and you have one up here, one down here, one over here, one down here. You have a portal in the middle with a flag. Well, and you'll see the video where I switched to my Highwayman build. This is my tank build. I'll tell you why I call it Highwayman in a minute. But me and another character were able to hold this the whole time just because of this and this. I drop Earthquake and drop Flight Port Beacon. And what it is there's a portal and there's a flag in the middle. And if you're fighting on this side, what people will do is they'll come to one of the stanchions by the portal. They'll hide, and they can click the flag. And if you're over here fighting, you're not paying attention, you can't see them, and they'll cap the portal. Well, if you run up and you throw that down, they can't cap the portal. So what I did was I ran away from the portal, was fighting, getting aggro, just being an ass, interrupting people, pulling people. And then as soon as I saw that Earthquake was down, I'd run up, cast it again. I didn't have to worry and sit there and babysit the portal, and they couldn't cap the portal. And it was like me and a rogue, like a ranger, were able to hold that. And I had no heal. You'll see in the video, like the only heals I had were my heals. There was a point in time where I was laughing. I even was starting. And you shouldn't do this if you're doing YouTube and you're kind of semi-serious. You shouldn't talk shit in videos. I was so amped up because I couldn't believe it was happening. I did a little shit talking, and I didn't get crazy, but I normally don't shit talk, and I did, and yeah, because last time I shit talked was World of Warcraft. I was talking mad trash because I played Shaman, and if you look at the Atlas, whatever, you'll see all my 9 Shamans. And, out of 9 Shamans, at the time, I think 60 was the highest level, or 70. I had, out of 9 Shaman, 7 of them were max level. Anyways, I had that many Shamans because I was playing when it was vanilla, and there was no dual spec, and I had a Shaman in each class, the end game, before the first expansion, like it was in dual spec. And that's why I had that. Anyway, so, reason why this build is called Highwayman. We were doing the Codex. And this had another name. This was like Earthguard or something stupid. I just do it something generic. I do that so I know what build I'm using. Like, okay, if I want to do heavy DPS, Savage. If I want to do, I'll run Primeval if I'm just running around with my wife doing PvE. Or I'll use that if I'm PvPing and there's no healer. I got my Lifebringer, Tsunami, Savage. My Hellion is, my fire build, Volcanist. Anyway, so we were trying to cap the Codex, and they were out at the statue. Was a statue of Thontic, and they captured the statue of Thontic, and they were coming down, and I was. You know how you have the flag Codex in the middle, you have the rock on one side, and you have the rock close on their side. I was standing on the rock on their side, like standing like this, to where they couldn't see me, but I could see over the rock. And they were coming. There were 3 of them, and what I did was I jumped down, and I don't know if I had voice on, but I had just been watching. I had watched Bear Taffy play Darkest Dungeon, and I was being retarded. Brigands, and I stopped them. And I prevented them for like 2 or 3 minutes. They sit there trying to kill me, and they couldn't. And finally, 2 of them took off, and I was able to kill the one guy, and I went and capped the statue of Thontic. But that's why I called the Highwaymen, because, I just jumped out. They thought they were all hunky-dory, that they were going to go up there and cap it. And then I jumped down, out of the bushes, basically, and, scared the crap out of them. They jumped down and attacked me. I basically jump them on the high. That's what a highwayman does. They wait by well-traveled roads, and they jump people. And I'm doing a lot of pantomiming with my hands, like right now, that you can't see. You obviously can't see, but I'm doing, and it was really cool. You guys missed it, man. That sucks for y'all. Anyway, I have my tsunami build. This is my typhoon build, and this is another fun one. This I gotta redo this because I messed it up. I was fiddling around, and I was buying a new roll, and then I was trying to change points, and instead of hitting the button to back out, I hit soul reset, because I'm retarded, and it reset it, and I was like, and I was in the middle of dungeon, so I just threw points in, and I screwed it up somehow, because before, and I learned, you go cunning first, then to fire back to cunning. But anyway, in the build, always start off with Fairy Blast. Fairy Blast, and then going east. But anyways, what was happening was, I had, in the build I was doing, I was getting my turmoil stacks super fast. So by the time I cast 2 of those, I would have 17 stacks. So I could use, my Torrential Rain, and, I could use this macro here. This says Cloudburst and Hurricane on it, I believe. Or I could use those, and I had enough stacks to use them. Well, when I respec, whatever I did, as you can see, once I get to that point in the rotation, I don't have those. I only get up to 10 stacks. I'm losing 5 stacks. I don't know what happened, but anyways, I screwed the pooch on that one. So I have to go back and redo that. But I'm not doing a build. This is my rotation build. I'll do another one of those videos later. However, I did want to say, I did want to show you my builds, my Primeval build, my Highwayman. I will say I am my favorite thing to do in MMOs. One thing that there are games out that are coming out that I refuse to play because they don't have a healing class. I can't be a healer. I don't want to play. If I don't even have that option, like that was my biggest hang up with Guild Wars 2 was, yeah, you had a Guardian, but I couldn't heal right. I couldn't heal, and I didn't like that. I like being a healer. I hate healing in this class. This calling, I'm sorry. I hate healing in this calling, and I will tell you why. No, I won't tell you. I'll show you. I'll show you why I hate healing. That right there. That is the most worthless ability. That does not... Okay, 857 health over 15 seconds to raid. This class, single target is great, but when you're doing PvP and or Nightmare Rifts, single target doesn't cut it. All the other classes, they have souls where they can heal multiple targets, and the overhealing you get from the blossom stacks is a joke. It's not enough. Overwhelming 5. It's not enough. Because I have my stuff on Mac over, and I can cast this over and over until the day is long, and the overhealing still isn't enough to really make a difference. Even with this bullshit spell, this is just the shittiest of spells. I don't understand this. I don't understand this. The Tactician has that little core engine that heals way more than this does. This class doesn't have many heals. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this shit. That's it. And it's just one healing soul. Cleric has, what, 4 healing soul? Rogue has, you know, my Rogue, I'm running a Physician build, and I'm using the Physician, Bard, and the Tactician, and I can crank out some crazy AoE healing. And my single target healing is nothing to scoff at either. But this class just doesn't have any, like, good single target healing. I mean, any good AoE healing. The single target is fantastic. I would rather take a cut to the single target healing than the healing to the AoE. Because just, really? This? Really? That's really our go-to for AoE? And I drop it all the time. I have it macro to where it'll cast at the target. Like, if I see a group, I'll cast it where if I see people taking damage, like one group, especially in Nightmare Rifts, I'll click on anybody in that group, or the person with the lowest health, and I'll just cast it on them. And, I mean, that's really all I can do. And then I'll spam, I'll put my, you know, I'll throw all my stacks on for my healing, my deluge, my overflow, whatever, and I'll inundate, and then it still doesn't do enough healing, you know, it's just... So I'm really, really disappointed in the fact that, you know, this is a great heal. Cast time, I think the cast time for this is great. However, there's a lot of times where I'll start to cast and then I'll have to move, and the person is taking damage. This right here, this is another great heal. Problem is, a lot of times you gotta move. So basically, I use that, and that. A majority of the time, those I don't even use these unless absolutely necessary, because they're really, I mean, they're both fantastic, but because a lot of times you're moving, you can't. I mean, I think I may use Nurture more as a damage dealing heal than, and this is a great heal too. This is a fantastic heal. I actually like this heal. It's just this class, the healing needs to be addressed. I think I'm hoping that one of the new souls, when they do release, is another healing soul that has some, you know, AoE. Maybe the avatar will be an owl or something, you know, and it has some spread healing, because this class, as far as healing goes, as far as AoE healing goes, let me make that perfectly clear. The single target healing, fantastic. I think it's probably, well, I haven't played Mage or, you know, my Physician even high, but I've played a Cleric. I think I can out-heal my Cleric single target with just these abilities. However, that's really it. But yeah, so that's that. These are my builds. This is a little quick tour of my one dimension. So, but yeah, we're having a lot of fun with this game. This game is we're in a different guild. And this guild, I joined the guild, and I was like, yeah, this guild has a lot of people on. And then we were removed from the guild because they were doing a purging of, like, I guess, non-active players, and we were new, so the person purging was like, I guess, I don't know, we got removed from the guild. I know a bunch of people did. So I asked, I'm like, hey, what happened? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, you did purging, you didn't play. I'm like, what do you mean I didn't play? I just came back. Or we just came back because of the Primalist class. We just got back. We have been playing since we got back. You know, we were never in your guild to begin with. We transferred from Seastone. And by the time they had gotten somebody on that could reinvite, we got invited to another guild. This guild is really, 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 really small. I am more than likely not going to stick around with them. They don't really do a tremendous amount together. They don't really do a tremendous amount. Just for the fact that you'll get 11 or 12 people on at a time. But the problem is, their levels are so vast, and it's just like, okay, well, we'll run, yeah, let's do a guild thing, mentor, and then you go in there, and it's like you just don't have the gear, and you get carried, and also, this is my other, where the, oh, what? I had a boat here. Oh, did I pick it up? I bet you I picked it up. No, yeah, I sure did, damn it. Where's my boat? I'm putting my boat back in the water. You guys stay focused. Look at my boat. Anyway, this is my boat. And this is my other dimension. I like this one. I like this. I'm not a dimension person. Like I really. Okay, I could have really cared less. And then my wife, got something. I can't remember what it was. I was like, oh, that's the coolest thing. And I was like, huh. So I started doing, putting effort in my dimension. And now I kind of have a little bit of fun with these dimensions. They're kind of, fun to build and make things, and, but she has all kinds of stuff. Yeah, this is what we're doing right now, and we're still playing other games. We're still playing Star Wars. I just finished the Star Wars. I will say they did a good job with the Fallen Empire. The story is like, oh man, it's really weird. I feel bad because I didn't think I was going to meet back with my other companions, so I romanced. What's her name? The Sith chick. I can't remember her name. Anyways, I romanced the crap out of her, and she's ready to have my kids. And then they're like, somebody, spoiler alert, and I hate when people, they're like, yeah, you get your whole old, spoiler alert. I did say spoiler alert, just saying, you get your, what I've heard is, because I don't know, and I've not seen your crew, but they say you get your whole old crew back. Well, spoiler alert, if you haven't played the Commando story, like Tano Vic, I can give a shit if I get Tano Vic back. But you run into Tano Vic, and you have opportunity to fight. He's a douchebag, and then you run into Yun, and he's, they're no longer part of the, which leads me to believe you don't get them back because they're no longer part of Havoc Squad. Yada yada yada, blah blah blah. Anyways, so I think they did a really good job with that. These are my builds. These are the builds that I use. I'll run over again really quickly just to show you. And you can pause the video if you want to use these builds. I'll actually do a video for each build to show you my rotation because there are. Oh my god, this build is ridiculous. But this is my heavy melee build. This is my heavy melee build. This is going to be my when I get done and I put the points in there. I get the rest of my points because I'm only going to be able to put. I'm thinking I may. I may dump all my points in here, other points in there, and then the rest. Anyways, so this is my this is my Savage build. There's my Lifebringer build. Lifebringer. I'm not really stoked about this build, but yeah. So this is my Lifebringer build. I got my Hellion build. This is one of my running gun builds. I like this one because it's very mobile. So, and it heals. I think almost all of them, except for one build, has heals in it. Like I said, I like being able to heal myself. This is a really good rift build when you have a lot of people in a rift, or you're running like an adventure, an intrepid adventure, an epic adventure, whatever, and you're doing like hammer nail. This is really good because this does a lot of AoE damage. And I have my primeval. This is my primary running around build, just because it has the heals. And it's got I do have a little bit of AOE with my Molten Wave, but I normally don't go into this build. I normally just hang out in Cunning, and then I'll bounce up here. There's every now and again where I'll jump into Fury if there's a lot of enemies, but normally this build I mow through before I get through my full rotation. Out where we're fighting, I mow through the mobs. They're dead before I get through the end of my rotation, my 7 abilities. So, anyways, so those are my builds. I hope you like what you saw. I will do a video for each one of the builds. Again, my builds aren't perfect. They aren't the best builds, but they're the builds that work for me. They're the ones that I enjoy playing, and I have a lot of fun with it. You'll see how effective these builds are PvP. Because I guess that's the curve that everyone judges whether or not your build is viable, is PvP. Well, I have the videos, I have the proof, and I was a lower level then. of how nasty these can be, my builds can be in PvP. And I'm fighting geared people. I've got several one-on-one battles. I've got a battle where I started about 35% health, and the other guy starts at 100. And when the battle's over, I end up having more health. I end up with like 70% health, and I kill it. So that video is, that you'll see that fight as well. But I'm not saying I'm no way, shape, or form the best. My rotation is no way, shape, or form the best. I don't do a lot of bouncing around in any of my builds except for Savage. But these are the builds that I run around the most with. These are the builds that I have fun. They work for me. And if you want to try them, when I'll do the videos, show you the macros I use, and have at it. So, all right, guys, I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.